La, 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 la. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. This is Craig. Yes, this is Craig. Give me a minute. This thing is acting up. All right. Once again, this is our mentorship support group, and I am Craig, your recovery coach, peer specialist. And yes, today I'm going to be sharing a very vital and very important topic that I want to discuss. This information is brought to you by none other than Granite Mountain, BHC. BHC. All right. Uh, .com. You can go online and retrieve this information. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So today we're going to be talking about rebuilding your life after addiction. So you may be wondering, all right, this is a mentorship. Why are we talking about rebuilding your life after addiction? Well, it's very important that we talk about that because we are in the field of recovery. And so it's vital, important information, especially for those who have led a life or lived a life of addiction, who may find themselves learning how to navigate through certain barriers, whether it be housing, employment, life skills in general, and they may be coming from rehab, residential, or they may be coming from the Department of Corrections, or whatever they coming from, homeless situation, and so or mental health, and so it's very important that we touch on rebuilding one's lifestyle, especially as men, because we are looked upon as the head of the house. So therefore, a lot of people is dependent on us to be good role models, good leaders. And so it's very important to share good information so that we can live healthier and so that we can help others become healthier as well. So let's get right into it. I'm going to read the introduction aspect of this article. It says, suddenly entering a drug and alcohol recovery program and becoming sober is difficult enough, right? But rebuilding your life after addiction can only complicate things more. Initially, you have to conquer withdrawal symptoms and cravings to use again. We have to conquer the craving and withdrawal symptoms because a lot of times we might want to get back into the workforce, as I stated earlier, or we may go on to getting our further in our education, whatever that may look like to someone, or get some vocational job skills. And so we have to tackle that. I often remind myself and I remind others that I'm assisting is that I don't want to set someone up to go out in the work field or go back to their household or their communities, whatever institution, structure, whatever that look like, without being healthy. So we must address those substance use disorders as well. All right, I said initially you'll have to conquer withdrawal symptoms and craving to use again, returning to the real world and continuing a sober lifestyle after spending years of substance use. Addict can be like coming out of a cave. Wow. The traditional process will require several changes, steps, and resolution that must be strictly followed to be successful. This is crucial if you're working on your recovery, on recently becoming sober, and want to continue that path after rehab. After spending an amount of time in treatment, the transition process of rebuilding your life after addiction can be challenging and will require several steps. We're going to talk about 10 of them today. All right, we're going to talk about 10 steps that we want to discuss and share with our audience, those who may be viewing at a later date or those who may come on. We welcome you. And so the first step we want to talk about in rebuilding your life after addiction, and that is slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. Okay. Often those who are recently rebuilding their life after addiction believe they are suddenly ready to jump back into the world. But they are usually realize quickly they are very far from being 100% ready. You'll feel reinvigorated and recharged and living life to its fullest. But you should moderate. Life pace will likely feel quite differently now, and it might take time to reacclimate. All right? But remember, regarding substance addiction recovery, slow and steady wins the race. Oftentimes, when people come out of short-term residential treatment, I don't want to knock no one, but a lot of times they may feel that they have overcome the addiction of the craving, triggers, or urging because they went to a treatment. Some may do. Most of the times, studies have shown that people need longer term, especially if you've been using for a long term. You may need more coping skills, more treatment, more assessment, more evaluation, more uh, learning techniques or how to deal with a whole host of things, not only alcohol and drugs, but also there's anger that people may be facing, mental illness people may be facing, how to handle confrontation when that appear, and what would that look like, and how do you perceive, and what's your perception, and how would you handle a given situation, rejection, abandonment. And there's a whole host of behaviors or things that we must address, not only alcohol, but also not only alcohol and drugs, but also the ones I just list, because a lot of times we have PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. You know, a lot of trauma come with people like myself who was in addiction state, and so I had to really learn how to refocus how I perceive myself. I always keep the focus on myself and how I'm able to interact with other people in a normal setting without the influence of mind altering substance. All right. And so the next one we want to talk about, and that is make things right. We want to make things right. All right. And it says, chance are in the substance abuse days, you did bad things or fell doing that previous lifestyle. Even though these things happened during the addiction era, these actions has still caused people to become upset or have animosity. However, most loved ones will be happy to have you back healthy and sober and begin to realize the influence of old wounds can heal as time goes on. It is crucial to quickly and efficiently find ways to repair any damage you previously caused and make sure you make things right. And that's so true because a lot of times some people have burned a lot of bridges because of the harm that we may have caused with our loved ones, people in the community. And so after coming home from rehab, or incarceration, whatever that may look like, rehab from substance abuse, or incarceration from being confined. A lot of times people look at you when you say, I'm not the same person who I used to be. People will look at you with skepticism. So a lot of times for me, what I had to learn and what I had to demonstrate was that let me just not talk about how I am a changed person. Let me demonstrate it and let people make their own decision of whether or not they're willing to forgive me, and so whether to embrace me as this new person that I say I am. Okay, let's go on to the third step, and that is do what's expected of you. Okay, another step to take when mending relationships with friends and family, and to find out what they expect and need from you and the expectation of your behavior when dealing with them. For example, if you began using drugs and alcohol as a teen and now you're in your late 20s, the early 30s, life has changed. You may only remember things back when you were sober and a functioning family member. But those roles and expectations and those relationships have also changed. This discussion isn't only for your sake, but for the sake of your loved ones too. They have gotten used to viewing you as a substance abuser and will continue to think of you that way unless you can show them differently. They may even expect too much now that you are back to being sober. Follow the rules and do what expected of you to help make loved ones view the present and form more practical standards moving forward. And so, what that is, what do what's expected of you. And so, a lot of times, our roles definitely have changed when we now are in recovery and we're sober. One of the things family members and things that we must do. One of the things I did was try to be more responsible, try to be honest, try to live a life of integrity, and try to be present. And so a lot of things that when I say try, because I'm continually working on being a better person every day. I don't want to be one of those person. I don't want to say that I have arrived. I have arrived, and then because I learned from when a person say I have arrived or I have reached my zenith or apex or highest level or degree in life, that's when we begin to descend. And so, therefore, I'm constantly working on improving those characteristics that I just mentioned, being responsible, honest, loyalty, integrity, morals, principles, values. And so all these things have to be incorporated internally and externally. Okay, let's go on to the next one, and that is follow through. This sound very interesting. Let's see what the article says. Life after rehab will be tough enough adjusting to life and finding time to discuss in detail what is expected of you. But now that friends and family have given you the ground rules moving forward, now you have to follow through on it, right? You beat substance abuse and addiction, and now the time has come to change other habits correlating to how you relate to others, things you do for them, handling obligations, and more. People you speak with may be duly impressed by the interest you display and what they believe and require to consider their expectations. But what will impress them and help form a solid relationship is by following through on our commitments now and long term. And so a lot of this is based upon behaviors, behavioral patterns, learning how to think positive, number one, because a lot of our behavior stems from the way we think. And if we're thinking correctly and thinking with the right mindset of being productive and positive and making strives to improve in life. And so a lot of times, one of the behaviors that I incorporated was I no longer hang out in the same neighborhoods or try to be amongst the old lifestyle of friends. Uh, Even though I live in a different location now, I have different friends now. I still have my old friends that I know, but I don't spend that much interaction with them, whether it be on the phone or social media. And so a lot of times I learned how to, like I said, change my behavior. And another aspect was being able to not only find different places of frequent as far as visiting, whether it be before in the past, I used to go to a lot of parties or nightclubs or whatever that may look like. And so now I work, I go to work, I get up in the morning, I go to work, and 9/10 of the time, if I'm not going to the store, I'm back home uh, doing some study. And whatever study that is, I always try to find something to engage myself with as far as something that's stimulating, and whether it be that of my spirituality, my belief system, or that of a life skill that can better improve my life and my family as well. So find some hobbies. I would definitely suggest, like it says, follow through. So if a family member asks you, especially if you're coming home, you're living with someone, and they ask you, do not come in the household after 12 or whatever, and you say, I will, I will adhere to what you're asking of me, do that, and it may just be for a short while until you get on your feet, whereas you can make your own time frame. But structure is very important when we talk about recovery and rebuilding your lifestyle after addiction. Okay, let's talk about another one, and that is, I believe this is the fifth one we're going to discuss and share, and that is leave old friends behind. Okay, after leaving rehab, it is crucial to cut ties with all previous substance abusing and addictive friends from the past, regardless of the support they claim they'll give you during your path to recover sobriety. The fact is, their presence will only stall your progress. Even in situations where it's a good friend or even a family member, they will bring you down and possibly trigger you to use again. During individual psychotherapy sessions, you'll learn that even friends and family members who are happy that you've become sober still may not fully support your new lifestyle. But don't take that personally. They're just afraid you'll push your get clean ways and lifestyle onto them. I like that. It says, don't don't just, it says they're just afraid you'll push your get clean ways and lifestyle onto them. They realize your lives are going in an entirely different direction with them on the opposing end of the spectrum. Even if that's not the case, and you'll still fully support each other, hanging with others, getting drunk or high will only tempt you. Being around them can at any moment trigger a relapse. So stay away or keep it as busy, formal meeting places. No amount of sentiment is worth your health, happiness, and especially your sobriety. Leave old friends behind. And I know you may say, now watching this, and you say, man, how just forget about people who I used to be where we grew up in the sandbox. We ran, on the bricks together, or however you may term it. And that is so true. It's very hard to let go of old friends. But I'm just going to tell you from my experience. And just not to throw shade on anybody, but I was on the phone. Someone reached out to me, a good friend of mine. I ain't gonna say a nice guy. I'm saying he's good. I want to say he's a friend, and he reached out to me, and I haven't spoken to him in a long time, and so we start discussing just having a general conversation. And I found myself having a conversation that I felt uncomfortable with. And so I had to really assess, the conversation and how that conversation made me feel. And so I had to push back or pull away from interacting with the person. But like I say, good people, I don't hold nothing against them, but I have to continue to work on what's best for Craig. All right. And so I wish the best success for uh, the person. And so that's just a little something I want to share because, like I said, I want to keep it focused on myself and my sobriety. Let's talk about another one. Finding new hobbies. Back in the substance abusing days, everyday life probably revolved around seeking and consuming drugs or alcohol. So true. And the moments you weren't occupied with using substances were perhaps overshadowed by thoughts of when and how you were going to schedule using again. Wow. So now that you're clean, what will you do with your free time now? Good question. That's a question I believe everyone should ask themselves coming from rehab or reentry from the Department of Correction. And so what will you do with your free time now? We're talking about finding new hobby. Substance addiction has left a giant hole in your life. And now is the time for you to fill that hole with something productive, engaging, and fun. Finding new hobby is easy. Try by volunteering, pursuing further education, or other positive and fulfilling hobbies to keep new life on the right path. And so for me, one of the things that I want to I won't say it's a hobby, but it's an educational approach for me, and that is learning financial literacy from both spectrum, from the fundamental analysis and technical analysis perspective. And so that is something very challenging. I like to challenge myself and to learn more and more and try to figure things out. And if I need assistance, I'm not afraid to ask for assistance or help. And so that is something that I do as, I guess I won't say it's a hobby, but I would say it is pursuing further education. All right. All right. So let's go on to the seventh step. And this is something I believe I need to do more of. And that is start exercising. This is one of the tough ones for especially a younger I want to say, I was about to say a younger man, but for an older man like myself, it's something that I need to do more of. Let's just leave it at that. All right. It says, think back to the days of drinking and abusing substances. How often did you work out during that period? Zero, none. All right. Although now you're clean and sober, are you in good health? Good question. Those who start exercising can feel a world of difference regarding improving overall brain health, boosting energy levels, feeling of self-confidence, and sense of well-being. All right. And it says whether it's hiking, swimming, yoga, cycling, Pilates, joining a gym, or a team sport, exercise can take things to a whole other level. Another reason to start exercising is to meet others dedicated to living a healthy lifestyle, which will help support your newly found healthy habits. Wow. And that's something I must take my hat off to my wife. She's a person who really get involved with exercise. She likes to walk. She likes to go to the gym. She likes eating healthy and things of that nature. And for a person like me who have lived experience with both side of the fence, alcohol and drugs, and Department of Correction, when I got married, and my wife, she is a registered nurse, and she's been doing that over 40 years now, and hats off to you, babe. And she really inspired me to uh, get a primary physician, to take physicals. Uh, she encouraged me to walk with her at times, even when I don't want to. It's exercise is good. My point is not to brag about. My point is to get involved in some type of exercise program. The article talks about hiking. You know, if you don't like hiking, swimming, yoga, cycling, Pilates, joining a gym. All right. Planet Fitness has one of the greatest, I think, one of the greatest plans that I've seen yet. $10 per month. Okay. You can do that. All right. Let's go on to step number 8. Remember, we're going to talk about 10 steps and what we're talking about, and that is rebuilding. We're going to rebuilding your life after addiction. Uh, and this is our mentorship support group. And so we just went over 7 of them. This is the 8th step, and that is start dieting. Like most people, you'll spend years abusing substances. You likely didn't have the best diet throughout that period. That is so true. Your body's condition is influenced by what you eat, and it may now be showing signs of malnutrition caused by long-term neglect. It is crucial to minimize fat, cut junk food out from your diet, cut out sugar and unhealthy food, and eat fresh fruits, veggies, fish, and lean meats daily. Also, drink lots of water and cut back on coffee or energy drinks. All right. And so, when I was in the therapeutic community, that's a TC peer program that I was involved with. It's a long-term program, and one of the sayings that the counselor will always remind us is that don't it's, don't switch one addiction for another. And by that is, if your main things were alcohol and drugs, and now that you no longer using those substances, now you switch over to drinking a lot of caffeine, coffee, or you may pick up a lot of junk food. So this article is talking about start dieting, and I love what it says. Cut back on junk foods from your diet, sugar, and like fast foods and stuff like that. If you can, I know it's hard. I know it's challenging, and so I'll be the first to admit it is very difficult. However, if you can, if you have a support system, or someone that can assist you with that aspect. I'm a person that part of a church. Uh, my church is Union Baptist Temple here in great city of Bristol, New Jersey, and so we oftentimes fast at least one time per month. And sometimes my wife, she will come up with these diet plans that we do. And so if you can't do it, please work on dieting. I know the importance. I know how I used to abuse my body uh, when I was using myself. A comprehensive health change won't happen overnight. That's what the article says, right? It says, but over time, your taste will change and you'll start craving healthy food. Next, you'll begin to see extraordinary changes in appearance, immunity, energy level, and overall health. But it only happens when you start dieting. All right. So let's go on to the next one. And that is, oh, I didn't put it up. Okay. Now you see it. It's I just read dieting. Now we're going to talk about this one, number 9. Get plenty of rest. So crucial. So crucial. I am a big believer of rest is so vital in recovering uh, from a holistic perspective. I'm a big person on letting your body rejuvenate itself. But let's see what the article says, and not what Craig said. The article said, whatever your sleep schedule was in the substance abuse and era, it probably wasn't very conducive to providing good mental and physical health. Staying up all night and sleeping all day, along with broken sleep throughout the night, did not help your health or mood. Going multiple days without sleep and then crashing are only a few basic models of sleep schedules that qualify as rest for a substance abuser. Okay? It says, chances are you'll be surprised to see the difference sleeping for 8 hours every night can make. So true. It can help convert into a far better mood. Read that again. Chances are you'll be surprised to see the difference sleeping for 8 hours every night can make. It can help convert into a far better mood, higher energy levels, sharper mental alertness, better health, and more. But it all starts with getting plenty of rest. Okay? And so, when I was reading that part of this article, I was thinking about sleep deprivation, being deprived. It's almost when, especially when I was using, it was almost like if you ever watch it, I'm from the old school. And so if you ever watch a vampire movie or a Dracula movie, I remember a time that I was using drugs, cocaine that it was, and I believe I stayed up a majority of the night. And when the sun came out, it was like if you ever watch a Dracula movie for the younger people, if you might not be into it, it's like a scary movie. And so when the Dracula, he would be busy at night, but as soon as the sun come out, he'll run from the sun. And I remember this one particular day that I was getting high using drugs, and I opened the door, and it was bright daylight, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!" And so, yeah, that's enough for me sharing that information. But get plenty of rest, please. Do not deprive yourself of get. And I know a lot of times we come home, we want to work 2 jobs, and we want to provide for our family. We want to get on our grind. But yeah, the article says get plenty of rest because it increases your alertness, your moods. What else it says? Uh, you're sharp. You have a sharp mental perspective, and so a lot of times when you see people who may not be as vibrant, it could be because they didn't get plenty of rest. All right, and the last one we're gonna close out, and that is set and accomplish goals. This is amazing. These are some good ones here. And this one is so vital. And it says the most crucial step to take following substance addiction rehab is to figure out your life goals and set about following them. This will help put other positive things in motion. Now that you're headed along a solid path towards your dreams, like exercising, getting plenty of rest, and being good to loved ones, will eventually fall into line. This an especially significant step to practice since you'll probably not set any meaningful goals due to your substance abuse. Now, your new future is a blank slate. You can have a Your new future is a blank slate. All right. And you can decide who and what you want to be accomplished in life, but you must make that decision and carry it out. Okay. And so if you have anyone that's close to you, or a mentor, or a spiritual leader, or a counselor, anyone from the professional field, you may want to reach out to. And if you're still trying to figure out your goals, please seek them. And I hope the best for anyone that's watching this video. Once again, my name is Craig, and this has been our mentorship support group. Thank you for watching. Join us next time. Take care.